Welcome back on Pocket What If. I'm the Wonderful in your pocket. And guys, you guys did fantastic with the last part. You guys got to that 10 like goal, so that is impressive. And so, guys, I'm just letting you know, there is a vote in the community tab to see if you guys want me to continue the series that I'm doing right now, or you guys want me to add a new one. And the supposed new series is based upon a very interesting character. But other than that, guys, I'm going to keep that poll up till Sunday. And when Sunday hits, I will take a look at the poll and see which one won. If you guys hit the continue series button, where I'll just continue with these other series and not add anything new until like 200, or you guys hit the new series, I will start that new series. I will start a new What If. And it'll be the same for like when we hit to 200. And when we hit 200, I'll put in the old What If ideas. Like, what if Izuku was the son of Moxie? What if Izuku was the son of Carnage? Because you guys like those two in particular. What if Izuku was radioactive? What other one should I add? Or should I add like another series on the top of those? But whatever. So guys, please subscribe to this channel, like this video, comment down below, and share this video with some friends. And don't forget to hit that notification bell. And from all of that, let's head into the story. Okay, from the last part, Izuku, Sean, and Patrick, they finally got through their first round. And their first round was somewhat difficult. So was Bakugo. And you know what, guys? What do you guys... Let's just say if the character with the shock absorption quirk were to stay, what would his name be? Like, what would the guy's name be? And try to make something clever. I want to hear from you. So guys, put that in the comments. So Bakugo and his team, quote unquote, they got through their first round. So we cut to Izuku and his team locked up in their quarters, discussing what's going to happen in their next match. We need to change up our plan, Izu. Maybe, Patrick. Maybe? I nearly got clobbered. I nearly got out of the ring. Yeah, but you're still here. Well, that's easy for you to say. All you had to do was fight a guy who could breathe fire and can heat up his hands. That's it. I had to deal with a guy who had a cannon for an arm. You gotta stop being such a big crybaby, Patrick. Crybabying? What do you mean crybabying? I think I'm being somewhat sensible. I nearly died. Most likely those shots were not lethal, Patrick. Izu, you saw those shots. They broke through concrete, god dang it. So freaking what? You're made of tougher stuff. You're tougher than most people here. At most, you might have broken a rib and be taken out of the competition. But that is it. I mean, Patrick, you're probably like the second toughest kid here. Probably right next to Sean. Hey! Well, come on, Sean, you gotta admit, you're kinda weak when it comes to being, resilient. What is that supposed to mean? Every time you inflate your arms, you run the risk of tearing. And trust me, it's good to have power like yours, but you're a glass cannon in fine definition. Screw you, Izu. What did you just say, Sean? You heard me. I'm the toughest one here. Weak in resilience, my ass. I can blow a Panzer mouse 25 feet in the air with just one gust of my wind. It would take at least 13 minutes before I even break a muscle fiber. So screw you! Well then, Sean, if you believe you're so tough, then you wouldn't mind a little competition? Okay, what do you propose? After we all win this competition here, and choose whoever school we're going to, or whoever the sponsor of this year is, if they're good enough of a school, you come with me and Patrick on my grandmother's next big hike. If you can even call it that. And where's the challenge in this, Izu? And we will be doing this in the winter. And I mean the deep winter. And where will we be going, Izu? Well, that's half the fun, trying to figure it out. But if you do come, I would heavily suggest some heavy winter gear. Oh, and you might want to buy yourself a good knife. I do suggest one with a full tang. I prefer those over any other. I'll take your advice. And I still don't see this challenge. I bet you can't go throughout the whole hiking trip without complaining a single bit. Heck, not even a single week without complaining. Come on, Sean. You may be the most resilient out of all of us, but I bet you're not that resilient. And what if I win? I know. Whoever you decide to go after, I'll be your personal wingman. Really? That's it? I'm not done. Well, whoever you decide to go after, and if you need to make yourself look good, I will confirm anything. Truth or lie. Public and in private, even if it's against myself. You're willing to embarrass yourself just for me to come along with you. Unless you're a weak chicken. You know, Izu, I don't much approve of your manipulating of people. But I do love the prospect of you humiliating yourself in the future, just for my benefit. So is that a yes? Of course. As they both shake each other's hands, but in their minds, they're both saying in the exact same time, Sucker! As then Izuku stops shaking his hand as he goes outside to take a breath of fresh air. As when he does, he just smiles. Hey, Grandma! As Tanya comes out of the shadows. Wow, impressive, Izu, but do you really think you have to manipulate them like that? Oh, come on, Grandma. I'm gonna need some help when it comes to this year's hike. I guess you are right about that, Izu, but did you have to bring Patrick this time? First of all, Grandma, that's not even my fault. Patrick's just being an idiot. But if he comes, he comes. But if he doesn't, he doesn't. Who I was going after was Sean, and I have succeeded. And besides, Sean is a little more socially intelligent than Patrick, so it was a little harder to convince him, but I have succeeded. As he smiles when he said that. All right. Did you really mean it when you said you'll be his wingman? Well, for one, of course, and two, I don't think he'll make it that far, and even if he does, this is Sean who we're talking about. The man, he may be smart in the social sense and may not say when things do not need to be said, but the man is as blunt as a baseball bat. He kind of reminds me of Uncle Weiss a little bit. As Antonia was like, are you sure you really want to say that? Are you sure? Weiss has a special condition, as she remembers like all the times Weiss says stupid stuff at a bar. Stuff is so bad it can be classified as sexual harassment. But if you guys remember that episode, hit the like button, please. As after she gives that little rant, Izu was like, yes, I am very much sure of it. Alright, Izu. But you and your team might as well get going. It's almost your turn. Alright, Grandma. I'll make you proud. And so Izuku and his team go out and fight. And guys, I'm running out of steam a little bit, but I'm just gonna skip this part up all the way to like the last two brackets, where it's like basically like 4 teams are left, which is Bakugo, Izuku, the one Bakugo is fighting, and when Izuku is fighting. And whoever wins these 2 matches get into the final round. So, let's get into this, shall we? As Izuku's team is entering this arena. But in this fight, they are appeared as the underdogs, because this next team is a little more aggressive, as it's the Russian team. But before the battle could commence, the announcer actually speaks up. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's time that we introduce this year's Quirk Combat Tournament main sponsor to the stage. As then a small white dog bear person walks onto the stage as he introduces himself. Hello, I am Principal Nezu of UA Academy. As a lot of people are awestruck, a lot of people are happy, but Bakugo in the stage screams out, I freaking do it! As he's like screaming in joy, and he's not the only one though, because UA rarely, and I mean rarely ever, becomes the main sponsor of this. Usually it goes to like one of the other places like America, Germany, or some other place that usually gets this. I mean, while Nezu has been principal of UA, this is their second time being the main sponsor for the QCT. As well, some people do better who's going to be the main sponsor for that year's, QCT. So yeah, some people have made a lot of money. But other than that, let's continue with the story, shall we? So, Principal Nezu actually lays out what's going to happen whoever wins. Whoever wins this year's Quirk Combat Tournament shall be instantly placed, if they choose to come to the school, be placed instantly in 1A. So basically, what will happen if Izuku's team wins, if they choose to go to UA, they go to UA. When they get old enough to head in those gates, no combat tests or anything like that. The only test they will have to do is like the paper test, which I think they would succeed. So yeah, they'll basically be part of 1A if they win. As then the fight begins between Izuku's team and the Russian team. And when the fight starts, the leader of the Russian team gets into a stance as he unleashes a red aura around himself. And when his aura covers him, he just rushes, tackling Izuku. As then, one of the members of the Russian team transforms into a bear man. As then, Patrick comments on this as he screams out, "Of course the Russians have a bear quirk!" The kid with the bear quirk rushes towards Patrick as Patrick leaps over him and tossing out his whip, wrapping it around the kid with the bear quirk's neck, unleashing electricity to the kid. As well, Sean fights the other member as he transforms into a shroud of black smoke and burning embers as those two fight. But we're going to cut to Izuku and his match with the team's leader. As Izuku is fighting with the Russian team leader, he's trying to find an opening to hit. But that guy, he's not letting up. Every blow he throws, it feels like the wind is being carried by every punch. But the guy's mostly missing. As Izuku notices something about him, as he just smiles. So it's that kind of quirk. As he just evades every single blow that is being thrown towards him. He just keeps on dodging. But for now, let's go over towards Patrick versus the Bear Quirk kid. As he is basically bull riding this guy. As the kid is trying to get him off his back, kicking his hind legs and trying to get him off. But Patrick holds on and keeps on shocking him. But eventually the kid gets a good idea that he just thinks, why didn't I not think of this before? As he gets onto his hind legs and just hops backward. As Shaw just sees the ground, like, oh, no you don't. As then Patrick throws an electric whip towards a wall, grounding into it, as he's then dragged by the whip towards the wall. As well, the bear quirk just lands on his back with no Patrick cushion. As Patrick gets back up. That was clever. Took you long enough. As the guy who has a bear quirk just charges towards him. As then Patrick just starts throwing more electric projectiles at the bear quirk. But we're going to cut over to Sean versus the smoke guy. As the fight between them, Sean can feel the embers, the heat from the black smoke that is trying to surround him. But he uses his air cannon quirk to, throw it as far away from him as possible. As very small and very weak fireballs are fired upon Sean. but he dodges every single one, trying to find a pattern. But he notices every time one is fired, the one that comes from his blind spot would always come right next. As he dodges one that comes right at his 8, as he turns around, as his arms inflate to like 8 inches in diameter, as he just aims and fires on that side of the smoke wall, as he blows the wall away, but including that member of the Russian team, as he's flying, as he hits the wall, basically becoming out of bounds. As that's one member down. As we go towards Izuku, as he's still fighting the leader, but the leader's slowing down in his blows. They're still strong, they're still throwing gusts of air, but not as strongly. As the Russian leader just yells at Izuku, "Why don't you fight back?" As Izuku just grabs his fist. As the Russian team leader is surprised, as he looks at Izuku, but his eyes have shrunken and turned gold. As Izuku monologues, "You see, I know what your quirk is." Huh? It's kind of obvious. Your quirk is an enhancement. No duh. But the more you use your enhancement, the more your body breaks down. And also the more likely your muscle tears itself apart, trying to compensate, right? How did you? I saw from the first blows. I saw the very, 2 minutes we were fighting, your muscles starting to tear. Especially the ones on your bicep. As the Russian team leader is scared. But unlike you and your quirk, my enhancements don't shatter my body. Let me show you. As he just hooks him in the head. As blood comes out of his mouth. Heck, a tooth falls out. As he looks at Izuku and he just says, "You're a monster." As Izuku actually gets close, as he whispers in his ear, "I'm not a monster. I'm a hero." As he punches him in the gut, knocking him out. As Izuku just smiles. And after his fight with the leader, he just turns towards his friends as he sees Sean, who's just finished his fight, as he actually just yells over towards him, "Hey, Sean! Help Patrick out, would you?" As Sean just gives him a nod. As Patrick versus the Bear Quirk kid, he's basically toying with his food, but then Sean just comes up and punches, the kid out of bounds, not getting him out of the game, as Izuku's team has just won the round. As Izuku's team is standing tall since they won the round, but Patrick's a little angry or peeved that he couldn't defeat his opponent, but he'll just say, "I'll just beat 2 next round." As Izuku just says, "Alright, boys, we just got one more round, and we win this. And after that, a hike." As they both just look at each other, both Sean and Patrick, and they just go like, "Oh dear God, what did we get ourselves into?" So guys, please subscribe to this channel, like this video, and comment down below, and share this video with others, and please hit that notification bell to get more of my what ifs, and also get more of my community tab, so you guys can vote for whatever the next what if special. And guys, I'll see you guys in the next part. Goodbye.